I want to touch a shark,
called 6-year-old Benny Alden.
Shh.
Benny's sister Jessie put a finger to her lips.
The sign says we should whisper.
Benny put his hand to his mouth. Then he whispered,
I want to touch a shark,
just as excitedly, but quieter. The Aldens were at the Port Elizabeth Aquarium. In front of them, a shallow tank stretched across the room. Inside, small sharks and stingrays swam lazily among rocks and plants. A sign above read, Touch Tank. That meant visitors were welcome to reach into the tank through the open top. Grandfather put his hand on Benny's shoulder. You'll get a chance, but first we have to learn the rules.
That's right,
said Isaiah Young.
Listen to Kayla, she'll explain.
Mr. Young was an old friend of Grandfather's. The Aldens were staying with him while they visited Port Elizabeth. Kayla, his daughter, was their unofficial guide to the aquarium.
Thanks, Dad.
Kayla spoke softly.
We whisper so we won't frighten the animals. You should also move slowly. Put your hand right under the surface of the water. Hold it there with your palm down.
Kayla wore a blue-collared shirt and had black hair that hung down to her shoulders. She was a biologist and knew all about the animals they were going to see at the aquarium. It was clear she knew what she was talking about, and some other visitors even gathered around to listen. The 4 children followed Kayla's lead. A stingray swam toward them. As it rose in the water, Violet's hand stroked across its back. She tried to keep quiet, but let out a tiny squeal of joy and excitement.
It's smooth and slippery, she said.
It didn't touch me,
Benny said sadly. Be patient, Grandfather said.
Are there other rules?
Jessie asked. She was 12 and liked to make notes about everything she learned. She couldn't write in her notebook with her hand in the water, but she'd try to remember what she learned for later.
Don't try to grab the animals, Kayla said, and don't try to touch their bellies or tails. Instead, touch their backs.
What happens if you touch a shark's tail?
Benny asked.
Will it bite?
Kayla smiled.
These sharks won't bite. There are about 400 species of sharks in the world, and most are small and gentle like these. You can handle them easily.
We still need to treat them with respect,
Henry said. At 14, he was the oldest of the Alden children.
That's right, Kayla said. We should treat all animals with respect. Here at the touch tank, the sharks and rays will hide if you scare them. But if you're calm and gentle, they'll get curious and come out.
I don't want to scare them,
Benny said.
I want to make friends.
Benny held his hand under the water.
His body wanted to squirm, but he tried to stay very still. A speckled shark as long as his arm swam toward him. Benny held his breath. The shark nosed at his hand, and Benny got nervous. Then it slid past, letting Benny pet down its back.
I touched one!
Benny grinned and clapped his hands together. Water from his wet hands sprayed into his face. He wiped himself off with his shirt sleeve as the other children laughed quietly. After a few more minutes at the touch tank, Kayla asked, "Shall we move on?" Everyone agreed. They were excited to see the other animals at the aquarium. After the children had washed and dried their hands, Kayla led the way to the next room. Violet walked beside her. "We don't get to touch wild animals very often," she said. "I've been to a petting barn at the zoo, but those animals aren't wild." 10-year-old Violet loved animals. She hoped she'd get a chance to draw some during their visit to Port Elizabeth. "You shouldn't touch animals in the wild," Kayla said. "It can be dangerous. They could hurt you, or you could hurt them. The aquarium chooses animals that are safe for the touch tank, and the tank gives them places to hide if they feel shy. The workers also keep the tank clean and watch for any sign of disease." "That sounds like a lot of work," Violet said. "Why not let people look but not touch?" "Good question," said Kayla. "Many people are afraid of sharks and rays, but here they see these animals aren't so dangerous. Maybe after this, your little brother will fall in love with sharks. Maybe he'll become a shark researcher someday."
I could do that,
Benny said.
I already made friends with that speckled one.